the favorite thing that people like to have.
When you are tired from a
when you are
long day
tired.
of work, all you need is
Last
30
year,
31x in the past 2 to 3 years. इनके पास जो warehouse है, that is India's largest warehouse.
hi everyone, we're back
Hello.
this week with another podcast from the research desk of Paterson PMS. Sorry, we are also getting in tune with the new branding and stuff. So yeah, apologies for the frivolities. So I think this week we're gonna talk about what everyone talks about in the season of winter, the favorite thing that people like to have, whether it's a wedding or festivals or just New
Just
Year
when
or
you are tired from
when
a
you're
long day
tired.
of work,
Yes,
all you need is one
one shot.
glass of whiskey.
Whiskey, yes. Whiskey is the particular thing that we're going to talk about, yes.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about a company which is making lots of buzz on the people's houses and on the stock market as well. So Piccadily Agro, everyone must have heard the name. I think the world famous Indian single malt whiskey that it has made, the Indri-Trini,
Yes.
yes, to be specific. So I think we got decode, but I think more than decode, we're just gonna discuss it because everyone pretty much knows that yeah, Indri has done his thing and the stock has also reflected. I think what 30x in
Yeah,
the last
30
year.
31x in the past 2 to 3 years.
Crazy
Crazy
return.
returns, yeah.
Yeah, so I think primarily of most of these recent returns were attributed to one single product, which was Indri-Trini. And now that everyone knows about it, the common question that we get is, अब क्या बचा है क्या कुछ अभी पिकाडिली में कि अभी
Is there more
is there
spirit
more
left in the
spirit? Yes.
stock?
और हाई जाएगा क्या? stock we are talking about. So yeah, so we're gonna discuss a bit on that. Before that, we'll also sort of have a conversation about how Piccadilly started its journey and all those things.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so
it's a very interesting story. I mean,
exactly.
when we were researching about the company, we just saw that, how Piccadilly was a sugar focused business
Yeah.
back in which started back in 1970 or 64. So its main focus was on, sugar. So basically, it started its sugar plant in Indri, which is a region in Haryana, and hence
Oh,
the name
I didn't know that.
Indri Whiskey. Yeah, so the company had its first sugar plant and its distillery plant, both in Indri.
But I thought Indri was more connected to the Indris of that we have. Like वो 5 इंद्रियां होती है हमारी.
उससे क्या है चैतन्य, ये इंद्री पीने से वो इंद्रियां हिल जाती है.
Active हो जाती है. Active हो जाती है. But I think on the packaging also they have written
Yeah.
touch, smell, whatever. Yeah.
So I think this, as I told you that they started with sugar production, and then slowly and steadily they entered into the distillery business. And by distillery, it is not just making liquor. They are also into ethanol or extra neutral alcohol and all and malts. So basically, the raw material used to make
Used to make liquor. Yeah.
liquor.
One step before the liquor
Yeah,
final
so
product.
they are into that also, and it's the capacities which they have. So I'll just tell you what the capacities which they have. So you'll get an idea of the infrastructure which the company holds. So I think the company has 2 sugar mills, and the crushing capacity I think is around 5,000 tons per day. Then second, they have 3 distilleries. As I mentioned, sub-cam, from liquor to ethanol to extra neutral alcohol. So they have, I think, around 12 kiloliters per day का capacity for malts and 78 kiloliters per day का capacity for ethanol. But what's interesting is इनके पास जो warehouse है, that is India's largest warehouse. So I think they have a capacity of around 45,000 barrels, and hence they were able to cater to the demand of Indri also.
45,000 barrels of whiskey.
क्या bro, ऐसा मजा आ जाएगा भाई.
Yes, चलो घर लेने थे आसपास उसके.
So,
but I think that just represent the scale at which the company operates.
Definitely.
So सबको लगता होगा कि अभी आई है 2-3 साल हुए हैं तो, but ऐसा नहीं है. It's a huge, because earlier as you said जो business था पहले it was more or less similar. So scale उन्होंने वहाँ पे ले लिया था. Now they're just replacing whatever they were doing to the Indri product basically. So it's like a forward integration that the company is doing.
कह सकते हैं, yes. And you know, ऐसा अभी जैसे अपन ने पहले बोला, it was a predominantly sugar based company, but now that's not the case. So I think in FY20 the sugar vertical of the company was, you know, contributing around 62% and
Revenue
to the revenue.
This was before the launch of Indri, right?
Yeah, before the launch of Indri. Yeah, everything which I'm
So
talking
still
right now
30% was coming from alcohol or related
related alcohol.
that
So I
ENA
think
and
हाँ,
all
ये कंपनी ऐसा it also makes Indian made liquor, जो देसी दारू बोलते हैं ना, ऐसा 1000 रुपए के नीचे वाला दारू,
Okay.
उसमें भी था ये, but that, you know, didn't really, you know, affect the business in terms of margins or in terms of revenue,
because predominantly it was sugar
हाँ,
only, which was volatile business.
हाँ, तो आई थिंक मैंने ऐसा देखा था कुछ FY13 से लेके FY20 का अगर मैं रेवेन्यू का अगर देखूं, a mere 3% रेवेन्यू का अगर
13 से
FY20
7 years में there was 3%.
just a 3% revenue का अगर, and at the
more
same
or less
time
flat if you consider
हाँ,
inflation.
and
Okay.
margins were also volatile in the range of 7 to 13% because
The business.
sugar था, cyclicality रहता है sugar में, तो yeah,
Regulations also there, MSP and
हाँ,
all those things. Yeah.
तो then I think अभी कंपनी को रियलाइज होगा कि हाँ भाई, अगर मेरे पास इतना ऐसा कैपेबिलिटी है, मैं क्यों ना कुछ अलग करूं, क्यों ना
Existing
प्रीमियम में
business में
घुसूं.
growth तो आ नहीं रहा.
हाँ,
Might as well take a chance and see what happens. And what happened?
what happened
What
भाई,
happened?
जो हुआ
Yeah,
क्या
yeah.
हुआ है. So yeah, I think FY20 sugar vertical 62%. Now it is down to 33% as of FY24.
So literal opposite.
हाँ
Earlier
भाई,
it was
change
60,
ऐसा
40.
ये हो गया.
एडिटर को बोलना पड़ेगा अक्षय कुमार वाला डाल दे.
And X sugar now has become 67%.
Yeah, okay. So now it's a not a sugar predominant not sugar predominant company, but it's an alcohol
They
company.
still will, you know, keep
Yeah, yeah.
deriving the
Because
some
in
part
the
of
process
the revenue.
itself, right? They can't get rid of it because इससे आगे जैसा I said forward.
बस एकदम सही बोला कि हाँ वो रहेंगे उसके अंदर, बट अभी उनका मेन फोकस विल बी टुवर्ड्स, यू नो, प्रीमियम अल्कोहल ब्रांड्स जो वो कर रहे हैं. तो हाँ, आई थिंक एज यू नो, इंद्री उन्होंने लॉन्च किया था लेट FY21 में, एंड आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर उनके FY21 के इंद्री के उन्होंने 19 केसेस बेचे थे.
Yes. So I think for FY21, so I think Indri के before they launched two particular brand, if I can recall correctly, one was called Golden Wings, and the other was Whistler. But it was selling. So FY21 Indri launched in very late. So FY21 में there was only 19 cases sold, you said. तब तक Whistler का sale was already at 9,000. But what started was that as soon as Indri picked up, तो Indri जितना पिकअप उसके अलग ब्रांड्स हुए नहीं. So Indri 19 था केसेस, only 19 केसेस, जितना आई थिंक हम दोनों खत्म कर सकते हैं एक साल में. बट अभी
मैं नहीं पीता भाई.
बट 19 से FY22 में 1500 और अभी FY24 में 1500 से 1,05,000. So
crazy भाई.
एक्सिस में ही बात हुई है. दैट इज हाउ मेनी, आई डोंट नो, 100 तो नहीं हुआ, बट
भाई मैंने ना अभी मस्ती में
70x.
मैंने ऐसे चेक किया था, इसका कैगर निकाला था मैंने.
हाँ,
1600% कैगर ओवर द पास्ट 3 years के उस रेट से उन्होंने ऐसा.
और उसी टाइम जो विस्लर जो 9,000 था, दैट इज स्टिल 50,000. नॉट बैड एट ऑल,
Not bad, yeah.
बट जो राइज इंद्री में दिखा है, दैट इज जस्ट parabolic rise. There's no other word for it. So I think that also tells that not only that Indri changed, because at the same time Indian single malt whiskey was also picked up in the whole entire world, not only in the country itself. So the lots of the, you know, जो awards मिले थे उसको international foreign competition या जो भी चलो उसमें. And I think उसी में they were fitting very well Indri, or that capitalized extremely well Indri Perfect. So it was
right product at right time.
Yeah, we can say that, but वो कहने के बाद ऐसा लगेगा कि इज जस्ट अ चांस, फ्लूक वाला चीज है, बट दैट इज नॉट ट्रू. कंपनी ने भी बहुत ऐसा कंट्रीब्यूट किया इन दैट सक्सेस आल्सो. सो आई थिंक इट वाज द वर्ल्ड्स फर्स्ट सिंगल मॉल्ट विस्की जिसने लॉन्च के 2 साल में ही 1 लाख केसेस बेच दिए.
अच्छा,
ओके. एंड आई थिंक FY24 में Indri alone was contributing 25% of the revenue. Single product contributing
25%
quarter of your revenue.
in that also in 3 years because FY21
exactly.
I think less than 1%
So
में
you
पकड़
can
के
write
चल
it
रहा
off.
हूँ. हाँ.
2019 cases तो is nothing.
So basically they started contributing meaningfully from FY22
3
and हाँ
मतलब 3 years में
वो लोग
0 to
almost
25.
ऐसा quarter of the company's revenue comes from Indri alone.
And for premium alcohol के sell का 90% was Indri only.
Oh, अच्छा.
Because Whistler, as we said, was not that much. So I think that was also happened, and even till now, it's not in the past. Abhi bhi even second quarter result maybe there was a growth of 426% year on year. That is more than 5x in premium alcohol. So abhi bhi I think we are middle of that growth journey. So it's not that it is over. I think it is just getting started. At least by the looks of it, we can say that numbers.
हाँ ब्रो मतलब अगर इतना
हाँ.
2 साल में 1 लाख केस बेचने के बाद भी if you still are generating ऐसा
Even on that high
400%
base.
हाँ even on that high base ऐसा 400% plus का तुम लोग year on year growth लेके आ रहे in terms of volume, so that definitely speaks about the quality of the product which the company is selling. And I think ये लोग पता है क्या कर रहे हैं. One interesting fact which I saw was they were making ऐसा experience centers. And what they also do is ये ऐसा दिवाली आया ना तो वो लोग इंद्री का ऐसा स्पेशल एडिशन निकाल लेंगे. गेम ऑफ थ्रोन्स बेस्ड भी एक उन्होंने इंद्री निकाला है.
Yeah, they just have to change the packaging and looks of it, right?
But then उसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है, प्रॉब्लम नहीं, एडवांटेज क्या होता है, दे आर एबल टू प्राइस इट एट अ हायर प्राइस पॉइंट. क्योंकि इंद्री ऐसा
लाइक अ ड्रॉप,
हाँ
लिमिटेड एडिशन होता है तो वो आई थिंक मैन्युफैक्चर भी कम ही करते हैं वो. So 100 cases or maybe 1000.
Then इसमें वो वॉल्यूम पे ना खेल के प्राइसिंग पे खेल जाते हैं because they I think position it at a price point of greater upwards of 5000 rupees. उस पे खेलते हैं फिर वो लोग. ये है उनका.
Yeah, so that's the I think industry practice also भी कह सकते हैं. जैसे वो रामपुर रैली को खैतान का आता है.
हाँ.
They also used to do the same thing, and I think this is also what the company is capitalizing, and I think this is also reflected in the company's revenue. So I think from 500 the company's revenue went to 742 between FY21 to FY24. But more interestingly, as you said, the sugar business was not that great in terms of margin, but this business is. So EBITDA margin was 10-11% in FY21, which is now close to double at 20%, and EBITDA was grown by from 52 crore in FY21 to 150 crore, 3x in just 3 years. And I think going forward also, even the margins are not margins won't be as high, improvement as we seen in the past.
I think now
double तो नहीं होगा यहाँ से.
At least 1 or 2%
because of the scale
because
and
of the scale.
optimization of the capacity.
But then I think they have reached at a margin level which they should be comfortable operating at.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I think as we said, Piccadily is not at the end of this phase. They are just in the middle of it, or maybe even start of it.
Who knows?
Because I think they're also getting up on an expansion. Now, as you said, largest warehouse तो है उनके पास. Now they will be increasing that warehouse capacity also to 2x.
तो मतलब basically upwards of ऐसा 90,000 barrels.
Yes. So 45,000 से more or less 1 lakh.
अच्छा, okay.
Yes. So अभी same warehouse will be able to store 1 lakh barrels of premium alcohol basically. Of course, that won't be only focused to Indri, but I think distillery capacity is also increasing to 250 kiloliters per day, and I think with malt production is now tripling to 30 kl.
So from 12 kiloliters per day to almost 30 kiloliters per day, and that is in its one plant, because I think ये तो brownfield expansion कर रहा है.
This is brownfield I'm talking about.
And दूसरा I think what they are doing is they are also getting into a new geography as in when it comes to their own operations. कि भाई now they are also setting up.
Yeah, because if you have warehouse and facilities across the country, then it saves your transportation cost and all.
Definitely.
Exactly.
So I think
so अभी जो है वो north में हरियाणा में.
हाँ.
And the new capacity will be
in Chandigarh only, but हाँ वहाँ पे भी वो लोग एक नया डिस्टिलरी खोल रहे हैं.
अच्छा, वो छत्तीसगढ़, राइट?
नो हाँ सॉरी, छत्तीसगढ़.
वरना तो सेंस नहीं बनता ना.
Yes. अरे हाँ, आजू बाजू.
तो छत्तीसगढ़ is now on to capture on the eastern part of the country.
तो I think वहाँ पे भी they are bringing a capacity of I think around 210 kiloliters per day का डिस्टिलरी, जिसमें से 180 kiloliters per day will be for ये अपना ethanol and 30 KLPD जो है अपना kiloliters per day will be for malt.
That ethanol वाला thing I think it will be more or less similar for EN and ethanol.
हाँ
So ENA can be used to make
हाँ दैट
alcohol also.
पर्टिकुलर वो जो प्लांट बन रहा है वो ENA इथेनॉल सब वो एक पर्टिकुलर वो उसमें से
Yes, because I think the
निकल
process
जाता
is
है
more or
प्रोसेस
less
इज ऑल
similar.
सिमिलर
In the, yes,
तो वो एंड आई थिंक ऑलमोst 30 to 35% of work is completed so I think
in the greenfield capacity.
yeah in the
Okay.
greenfield capacity so I think it should be live and it should start contributing to the revenues from second quarter of FY26
Live or served. Yes.
so yeah but what's interesting is कि भाई इंडिया में तो ठीक है दे हैव शोन कि हाँ भाई इंद्री ने बहुत अच्छा किया है इंटरनेशनली ऑल्सो दे आर गेटिंग रिकॉग्निशन
Dude, I was saying Costco में उसके मिल रहे थे in US,
US
Canada.
में?
Yeah, Costco में there was on the shelf. People used to capture it कि इंद्री है. So clearly it has made a name in the world itself. So मतलब शराबी तो दुनिया भर में है. that is one thing that.
तो
Yeah.
दैट इज देयर एंड आई थिंक एज यू सेड कि भाई यूएस सब जगह है तो आई थिंक नाउ व्हाट दे आर डूइंग इट इज टू कैपिटलाइज ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर डिमांड उन्होंने है ना अभी दे आर ओपनिंग अ न्यू डिस्टिलरी इन पोर्टावेड आल्सो व्हिच इज इन स्कॉटलैंड
Oh, Scotland, the capital of the capital of the whiskey.
whiskey so I think then that is there there are not much details on what will be the capacity but they've already they are in the plans to formalize so
They
I
may
think
be looking for lands and all those things right now. Okay.
so I think by 3Q of FY25 I think by this quarter ये अगर कुछ ये लोग update देते हैं
We should
we'll
be
get
able to know it.
yeah
Okay.
so that is there
But I think जैसे हम बात कर रहे हैं, we are only talking about more or less one product, which is Indri. तो there were also questions कि भाई इंद्री पे इतना रिलायंस है इनका, तो बैकफायर ना हो जाए because it's a too much.
obviously कर सकता है
Exactly. Because अगर कल जाके there is even a slight damage to the reputation of Indri or even the company, तो वो पूरा रेवेन्यू जैसे लाया है वैसे गया जाएगा अभी से. So I think to maybe not consciously countering that as a thing, but just a sort of diversification.
reduce the
point.
dependence,
Yeah.
हाँ.
The company is also launching. I think already launched.
Has already
I
launched,
think
yeah.
premium rums also. So now whiskey and now it's rum. I think it's called Kamikara.
yes
And I think in the one for the first year, its sales also grew 10x from last year. So similarly, what was there in the beginning of Indri can now be, I think, seen in this new particular product which is Kamikara. So I think that will be another thing to watch out for कि अभी आगे जाके Kamikara how much it will
start contributing
exactly.
to the revenue
So if company is able to do it in the one product Indri earlier,
there is a possibility that they
they
might
can do in this product and
replicate
subsequent
in
product
subsequent
as well.
products. हाँ but अब अगर इतना लेके आ रहे लोग
Yes.
capacity और सब तो definitely I think there will be quite a few products
And
to
that
be
is
launched.
something that the company has cracked.
Yeah.
So there is no stopping for company from doing the same thing in other product line because already company का नाम है, everything is there.
So yeah, I think
basically जो reinvent किया है company ने शुगर से अभी premium alcohol. Spirits में भी there is premium because that is the segment right now currently which is showing the highest sort of traction. Even the traditional companies that we know, United Spirits and all those are also focusing on premium product. United Spirits in itself is a premium product company, but on other companies as well. And this company starting its journey from that itself, of course there were another product earlier, but because of its low size, they had the benefit of taking high risk at a lower size, and that has beautifully played out for the company. So. And company also capitalizing it by doing more capital expansion, international diversification, product-wise diversification. So that this is a, I think, very interesting long-term story for the company.
Yeah, it can
and
play
I
out
think
beautifully.
We are at the early stages of this long-term story. We can say that because of course there will be challenges, competition, and all those things. But again, those are.
But yeah, that is a part and parcel of the business.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's a wrap.
So I think we have covered pretty much everything, and that also, but पीने नहीं मिला. But ठीक है, maybe sometime. Yes. So I think a company to watch for because we do not advise and everything.
Yeah, this is for
Just
educational
educational
purposes, guys.
And entertainment purpose. And this is not a medical advice as well. पता चला पीने बैठ गए लोग.
Really, yeah, but guys, if you
There was a friend of mine. चल इधर ही पीते हैं. I'm like क्यों मैंने स्टॉक खरीदा है. I'm like ऐसा नहीं करते बेटा.
no, but yeah, we hope that you guys buy Indri, contribute to the future of the company, and you can have Indri while watching this podcast. So yeah,
Yeah, that is also a possibility. But don't drink and drive. And yes, drive at your home only. But अभी ठीक है चलो. That's a wrap, I think. But
Yes,
yeah, but
yes.
if you do want your portfolios review, there is a link in the description where we can review our whole portfolio and give it a new look, just like how Piccadily has done from sugar to alcohol.
Yes, sir. Thank
So
you.
I think that's a wrap for this week. Bye bye. See you in the next one. Have a good day.
Yes,
Bye bye.
bye.